one of the things my clients often ask is how can they actually create some space to calm their minds down when they're in the middle of this busy rush of their normal world, and laid on top of that are the difficulties that public speaking anxiety can bring. So racing mind, confused thoughts, impending doom of presentations, meetings, speeches, whatever that might be. So what I'd like to share with you now is a very short, a 1-minute way of simply giving your brain some space from that headlong rush, particularly when those thoughts about public speaking simply take over and you can feel that rush of anxiety and pressure and fear and the panic beginning to build. It's also really, really useful when you simply want to take some time out, but there isn't time to go for a half-hour walk or go to the gym or learn yoga. So all you need in order to be able to do this is quite simply a glass of water and 60 seconds. Now there are 3 aspects to what I'm going to teach you, and they're all based on how our brains react when we're under pressure and beginning to feel fearful and panicky. And those 3 things that we do are we focus on whatever the threat might be. So we start to look at things. Now it may be you're fixating on a particular thing, or your eyes may be darting all over the place, but we look. The other one is our breathing tends to become more shallow and more rapid. We lose control of our breathing, and essentially we're trying to breathe out enough air to be able to suck in a huge lungful of air in order to be able to keep the oxygen supply going to our muscles as they prepare for fight or flight. The third thing that happens with fear is a consequence of that last one. Really, our mouth goes very, very dry. That's often why you find it difficult to talk, or your speech goes croaky when you're in the middle of a public speaking problem. So what I want you to do is simply find yourself somewhere. This is a great technique to practice. It takes only a minute. So get yourself used to it, and then you can use it wherever and whenever you wish, whether that's simply a break between the busyness of your normal life, or whether it's a pressure point where you can feel the panic building and you need simply to rest your mind. So all you do is you find yourself somewhere quiet. With practice though, this can be done anywhere at all. And you simply look at something. Now, ideally it would be a picture on a wall. So for example, the picture behind me is something that's useful that you can look at. And you look at it, and you notice how it feels when you're looking at something. And then what you do is, whilst you're looking at it, blink as often as you like, it doesn't matter, but keep looking at the thing that you've chosen, and notice just how far around your peripheral vision goes. So what can you see? So for myself, I can see a window in the background on my left-hand side, and I can see the door frame on the right-hand side. And all of the things in between I can also see. And top and bottom, I can see the corner of the ceiling, and I can see my hands on my lap. So there's a difference between the feeling that exists when you're focusing on an object, and then when you simply let your awareness to realise that there is so much within your vision. So without actually turning your eyes to look at them, there is a huge amount of things there to see. And in order to see those things, your mind has to be more relaxed. It has to be less focused. So if you deliberately allow your awareness to see these things, then your mind relaxes. There's a difference in feeling. Now the second thing that you do at the same time, this is where it needs a bit of practice, is whilst you are allowing your awareness to spread, bring your attention to your breathing. And there are only 2 rules to this, and one is breathe with your belly, not your chest. So when you breathe in and your diaphragm pushes down to draw air into your lungs, your belly will move out slightly. And when you breathe out, your belly moves in to push your diaphragm up to expel the air from your lungs. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is your out breath must always be longer than your in breath. So in essence, you're breathing out more slowly than you're breathing in. A great way of doing this is to breathe in for a count of 7 and out for a count of 11, or in for 5 and out for 8. Or as you may have seen on the underground recently, breathe in for 3 and out for 4. Now these aren't seconds, this is however fast you choose to count. Just the out breath must be longer than the in breath. Because when we breathe in this way, This is how we breathe when we're relaxed. So if you deliberately breathe in this fashion, you must be more relaxed. It's a mind hack. Now the third thing is how you deal with the dry mouth. Now if you can, use saliva. Saliva is best. So if you have enough moisture in your mouth anyway, just spend a moment creating as much as you can. Get some spit in your mouth. And you simply leave it in your mouth so your mouth is actually over moist. There is some liquid in your mouth. Now if your mouth is too dry, this is where the glass of water comes in. Simply take a sip and hold it in your mouth. So I've just swallowed because I want to keep talking to you, but you would hold it in your mouth and then simply you combine those three things for a minute. So you find yourself wherever you are, you focus on the thing in front of you and allow your awareness to gradually take in all of the things that actually are in your field of vision without you moving your eyes. At the same time, bring your awareness into your breathing. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathing out for longer than you breathe in. And whilst you're doing these two things, simply ensure that you have some liquid in your mouth. Ideally it's saliva, but if not, glass of water, cup of tea. Just hold a sip and swill it round your mouth. And combining these three things creates a really powerful mind hack to simply force your brain into believing that it's calmer than it was before. Because all three of these things only happen when we're calm. So if they're all happening together, it cons your brain into believing you're calm. It's a really, really rapid way of taking a racing mind and slowing it down and calming it. So it can give you the space in between busy events where you don't have very long to simply go out and relax. It allows your mind to detune really quickly. And then you're alert for whatever comes afterwards. Or if you find yourself in a particular situation where the public speaking anxieties are starting to run away with you, and you can feel the panic and the fear and the rapid breathing and the way that you talk, the kind of way I'm going now, where you get over animated or simply your mind goes blank. Just give yourself a moment to do this. So whilst you're sitting waiting for your turn, whilst you're standing at the front of the room waiting for the room to settle, pick a spot, let your vision go. Check your breathing, moisture in your mouth, and there you go. And do feel free to get in touch. There's a button at the bottom of this video and you can simply book yourself a time so that you and I can have a discussion about how public speaking anxiety is affecting your life and whether working with me through my bespoke 6-step program will actually be the one for you.